so much for joining us for another edition of the Bloody Legends with Jai, that Aussie metal guy, and Jim Taylor, brought to you by crank.com. Make sure you're a bloody legend and hit that like and subscribe. Okay. G'day, how the bloody hell are you all going? It's time for another edition of the Bloody Legends with myself, Jai, that Aussie metal guy, and my reliable co-host, JB Jim Taylor. Today, tonight, this morning, wherever you are in the world, it's a great pleasure that we're having a chat with Terry Corso from Alien Ant Farm, who have just recently announced their tour of Australia, New Zealand. They dropped the Mantras album in April, which is fucking unreal. One of the best albums I believe you guys have dropped to date. Thank you so very much for joining me, Terry.
Thank you for that awesome that's great. I'm stoked you like the record so much. That's killer. That always gets me I'm just we're so proud of this record, and to know that people are digging it is always great.
Yeah, so what was it like working on this album for you, Terry? Because I know the band split apart a little bit through 2007, 2006. You come back in 2008. And you've dropped two albums since then. How's that time been for you, coming back to the band and having a reinvigoration for Alien Ant Farm?
Well, it was weird to say that maybe the pandemic was what we needed. I mean, we've always I don't know, we haven't been the most active band like some of our peers coming up, and we're, you got the right idea. So we've always been in and out, but something about just the pandemic provided a little bit of a hard reset for us, which was, a lot of bands. It's like a saying in the industry, you get your whole life to write your first record, but you get 3 months to write your second. So you end up not having a lot to write about or whatnot, but this provided all the time for all of us to go through a lot of different growing stuff. And we lost people, we had people born, just crazy stuff happened enough to push us into the studio and get this collection of songs together. And man, it seems like it took forever, but on the other end, we're super proud of it. The songs are just there's a lot of depth and life feels in these tracks, and it's been a while since we put something out like that, maybe even since our first and second record, that we really had these records that were really from our heart and soul, instead of just being told to get it done in the studio by the record label or whatnot.
Yeah, well, we were talking, Jim. You were mentioning how you were listening to the whole album from start to finish as well. Jim actually brought up a couple of good points as well, which I'd like him to touch on.
Listening to it today. I mean, you're one of the most innovative guitar players that I've heard. You do things that are not only rhythmic, and you do things forgive me, I'm trying to remember the song. There's stuff you're doing that was seemingly out of tune, and it was no, it fits right in.
As he dropped out, it was just saying how some of
sorry, he's been he's getting choppy.
I know. It was just we were talking before about how some of the bits sound almost out of tune, but it's out of time, but it sits so well in the way you play. Some of these offbeat signature ways of playing in this album really grabs you. He's the musician. He actually plays in a band with Morgan from Seven Dust, who you probably shared the stage with quite a few times.
That's awesome. Oh yeah, several times. Yeah. Those Seven Dust guys are great guys. But yeah, I don't know. It's just fucking jazz, baby. I don't know. It's funny because I always prided my riffing and the way I wrote riffs, or my style of playing is I've always had my own little quirks of keeping it in an ergonomic box for myself. And I don't know. It's all like kind of weird and cheeky, like how I have to do it for myself. But I did definitely always want, like, I kind of went into the process wanting to write something that was different enough to be hard to figure out for, someone who was listening or trying to learn it. Which is weird because nowadays I'm in, here I am in a world of playthrough videos where everyone just wants to be in on it. You know what I mean? So it's like the thrill of the mystery is kind of gone these days. Not that I'm the biggest playthrough guy, but I realize that they're important now and people like them. So, but I used to like it to be a little mysterious and for my stuff to be really hard to figure out.
And that kind of comes from our generation as well too.
Yeah, true. And thank you so much, Jim. Like I appreciate that very, very much. Those kind words. I always tried to, like, I always think the coolest thing somebody can do is have a style, that's recognizable. And I don't know that I'm there yet, but I'm still trying, you know what I mean?
Oh no, you never be satisfied, man. It's all about the journey. And I feel you and Borland, man, I think you guys come up with not only the heaviest stuff in the universe, but also the most unique bends and chord progressions and like different ways of how many different ways can I play an A flat? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's
what I always love. It's funny you bring up Wes because I love Wes as a creative entity. He is just, I mean, he's a sweet guy, but his attack on what he writes and plays is so outside of the box that I fucking love that shit. You know what I mean? I don't want to do anything like, I mean, you're always going to have, the song is always going to call for a part or a sound, and I think that's one of the coolest things of being a songwriter is knowing when to, fucking swallow your pride and lay back and play what's needed for the song. But the when you're going to do a riff, like, riff writing is its whole thing, right? So I do appreciate a really kind of wonky sounding fucking riff that just clobbers you,
Absolutely. What's the one like Last Dance is very unique. And a lot of these songs, it's like you almost go through like it's almost like a calypso type beat, and then it's like straight. I can't remember the one. Oh my god, give me a minute. It's one that has you almost had it was like a bit crusher element on the beginning of it.
Is that whatchamacallit, So Cold.
So cold,
the one that has
So Cold.
Yeah, with the one with the big whammy bar solo in the middle.
That's the one. And it was very unique. I was like, this is not like I already thought movies for you guys was unique. This was super unique. This is some of your best writing I think you've ever done.
It's funny you mentioned movies because I was actually just rocking out, singing the house down to that track before it jumped on. Man. You guys are obviously known for that huge cover you done of Smooth Criminal because, but you guys have the most amazing original material as well. How's that been for you guys as a band, kind of getting the audience, the original audience is hooked on that track, but kind of having them come over and check out your original material because that is so much fucking better. I know that track made who you guys are, but how has that been kind of as a band, kind of kicking that fucking stigma and bringing out this, doing this, man?
Yeah, we always just kind of wanted to be a little, I don't know, we never really fell into place with like the bands of our genre that were kind of doing the straight ahead, whether it was new metal or whatever you want to call it. But we always like kind of prided ourselves on maybe, like I said earlier, the jazzy stuff, if you will, odd times, weird notes and stuff like that. we're metal guys. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
from when we were kids, me being the most metal out of any of them, fucking posers, but we're all kind of came up on I'm still very into metal and deathcore
Glam rock.
and
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I love
so
you guys.
I carry the torch.
Yeah.
Lucky for them, because I'm a guitar player, and you want, you want your guitar player or your drummer or both with limbs still in the metal world, right? So I mean, that's one thing people just when the cover song, the pop cover song, or the more pop tunes are the ones that rise to the cream of the crop, kind of as far as the accessibility side of things goes. Anybody that gets looped in and comes to see us is going to figure out that we're like kind of metal kids. You know what I mean? Like, because they're going to hear riffs, and they're going to hear powerful drums and odd time signatures and our weird notes that sound fucking out of key but are not. Like, so yeah.
Exactly.
So we're definitely metal kids, man. We came up like I was in a thrash metal band when I was 16 years old. We were called Sinister Fiend.
What good?
Oh, that's a cool name. I like that.
We took it from the Megadeth song.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck yeah,
Yes.
dude. So tell us a little bit about your songwriting process for this album, and kind of how has that changed and evolved for you over the years, especially now considering the state of the scene too.
Well, like I said, a lot of the bulk of the record got like kind of started, kind of shaping up in a weird way, like demo wise, during the pandemic. We'd written, well, the 4 songs we did What Am I Doing? Wrong Things. We did the Wham song.
Yep.
And what other song we did?
Which is a great cover, by the way.
Storms Over. We did Storms Over. So those are the 4 songs we did before the pandemic hit, and they were songs that we had kind of co-written with a producer, co-writer that we know named S.J. Jones, and she's an old friend of ours from South Africa that we've written with for years over time. And then what happened was pandemic kind of set in, and everybody just retreated, to their families and like different stuff. I had my elderly father was living with me at my house, and I had him wrapped up in bubble fucking tape because I didn't want him to get sick. And anyways, I just hunkered down and started writing a bunch of bits on my my little workstation. And then Tim would come over occasionally just to visit and say hi, and he'd bring a bass, and we started putting together all these chunks of songs that basically once things kind of settled down and we started kind of reconvening, we were like, hey, look at all this stuff that we kind of put together while this shit was going on. We got all these demos, and then we just started pitching those over to Dryden, and then that was kind of the ultimate test, was if Dryden took to it instantly and just came with a great hook, then we would concentrate on those songs. So I mean, there's no real rhyme or reason or any kind of formula to how we put songs together. Usually it's me coming up with an idea at home, like I was just saying, and then I'll send it to Dryden and give it the Dryden test. But there's I was just talking to somebody about that song, What Am I Doing, off of the new record. It's kind of like a dark track, but it's become a bit of a sleeper track. Like, people are being drawn to this song. So, but the cool thing about that song, that when I think about it, is that Dryden and SJ had they basically wrote a beat, and then Dryden sang to it, and it was What Am I Doing, those lyrics, etc. And then I was on vacation, like out of town, but I had a small workshop, like my little travel system going. And I took it and I actually wrote all the guitar after the fact. Like, it was already it was a completely finished beginning to end beat with a vocal pattern over it, you know, in a key. And I went and I just like sat down and I wrote it as I listened and went along. So, you know, it's just, we've written songs in so many different ways. It's insane, you know, but usually the process starts with like a riff or something.
Yeah, a totally backwards way of doing it. That would have been for you as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that was awesome. For me as a writer, I was like,
reverse.
this is challenging and cool.
It's like you're writing the guitar riff after the lyrics. That's interesting.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was writing to the vocal bit and the beat. It was the only reference I had, and whatever the tempo, the click track, you know. But yeah, I was just basically kind of fishing around for chords and different little pieces, you know, to kind of that would support what was going on vocally. And it was very fun and interesting, and just goes to show that there's no real formula, you know.
It's a great album, and as I was saying, I believe it's one of the best to date. The maturity and the songwriting and the sound of it is absolutely unreal. You guys are definitely back with a vengeance, and you come out of COVID and you played heap of shows all over the place. I think you even played the Gathering of the Juggalos, because you've done a track as well with ICP as well, dude.
Yeah,
which I seen 2023, which is like,
hey,
no fucking shit, man.
That was another instance like where they sent the guy sent the song, The Afraid of Life or whatever, and it was all finished. Like I just basically dressed it up. It was like, you know, it was a beat with their raps and stuff, and I just went and just put guitar to it. Like I went along and, oh, this might sound cool here, this might sound cool there. And before I knew it, I had this whole piece, like this song that sounded like I was there writing it with them and stuff. But that was very similar to what I was just talking about, the way that went down. So that was fun.
Cool.
Yeah, and crazy and different. Yeah, ICP, we kind of love those guys. We somehow ended up being accepted as family, you know. So
As a juggalo.
now we play we're like family. What they say family, you know, like we're family now. So
did you get to play that?
It's kind of cool.
Stage with
I like feeling
Juggalos?
like I belong to something, you know.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Did you get to play that track with them, Terry, at the show?
No.
Oh, that would have been cool as fuck. I know another band who played on that show, Belushi Speedball as well. I know the guys from them. They fucking played that show as well. Super
was
cool.
A really dark, funny name for a band. But
it is, dude. Also, you've recently, I'm going to share some artwork too, guys. We haven't got a great deal of time, but I do want to touch on the European tour that you have.
Oh, look at that.
Announced as well, kicking off in October at the Netherlands, man. The art for this is absolutely unreal. You're playing everywhere from the Netherlands, Belgium, Germany, all over bloody Europe, and kind of rounding out over in the UK as well. You must be pretty kind of stoked to kind of start getting these international shows out and get out again, yeah?
Yeah, it's been a while since we've got to go anywhere, you know. It was the pandemic, and then, you know, it takes a minute to get to stuff, you know, as far as putting a record out and then working the record, and it really ends up being a span of a lot of time. So you know, if it were up to us, the UK has always been kind of a home away from home for us. We've managed to get over there and work a lot throughout the years, and we really laid the work at an early kind of band age, like when we first got going. So now we can go out there and tour, and it's just like it's like a second home. So it's really, if we could have got there sooner, we would have. But it's going to be really nice to finally get out there again and see a lot of friends and people that we consider family, you know, that we haven't seen in a really long time.
And speaking of tours, one I wanted to touch on, I'm super excited about being over here in Australia. You announced this one, man, with Sky as well. And for our New Zealand viewers and listeners, you will be there as well. You're playing Wellington, Auckland as well.
Yes. Yeah, that's going to be nice. I can't wait. At first it was just Aussie dates, and we were just you know, we were already over the moon for that, and then they added the New Zealand dates, and so it's good to maximize. for sure.
Yeah, all the Kiwi friends would have been like, why the fuck aren't you coming to New Zealand? You got to hit over here as well. And it would have been great to kind of have that feedback, even after all these years. It's like everyone is still keen as fuck for what Alien Ant Farm is doing. I know I shared the news of it when you announced it. I was embargoed to a certain time, but as soon as I posted it, so many comments from Australia, so many people tagging other people going, oi, fuck, we got to do this as well. So you must be super excited to kind of get back on the road.
It seems like there's a lot of, it seems like a lot of excitement around the tour. So it's just going to grow too. So I know it'll be awesome when we get down there. Looking forward to that.
And the state of the music industry at the moment, it's kind of a bit fucking broken, where it's kind of, you're releasing albums and you got to kind of tour all, which is great to tour, but it's kind of, it is a must to tour. It's no good now just releasing an album, hope everyone buys it. You got to get along, play like a million shows, get the merch out, and have people supporting that way too.
It's kind of a lifeline nowadays. You know, nobody really makes money off of streams or record sales in any of that anymore, you know. So it's definitely about the merch and getting out on the road and getting in front of crowds.
Yeah, that's it. And the crowds, get along, buy the tickets early, support these bands when they are touring, mate, because you got to have a strong, healthy local live scene as well to kind of keep these bands coming as well. So when bands like Alien Farm announce, buy the tickets early, get along to it.
It's all reciprocal. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. If you want to always have it, you gotta nurture it. You know what I mean? You gotta put into it to get out of it. And you know, the rising tide raises all boats. So
that's the one.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay, Jim, did you have anything else you want to chuck in? I think Terry's got to bounce off in a sec.
No, sir. No, brother. We don't want to keep you. We're very honored to have you on the show, brother.
Yeah, brother. This has been an absolute pleasure. Any last words, shout outs, thank yous, or anything else you'd like to add in there, my friend?
Yeah. Thanks to the fans for hanging out for so long, and we always knew we'd be able to get back to you, and now we're gonna. So see you in February.
Exactly. You will be able to catch Alien Ant Farm. They're literally playing all over the fucking world. Grab their latest album, Mantras, put it in the stereo, crank it up really fucking loud because the neighbors are going to want to hear it too. Cheers, Terry. Have a good night, my friend.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
Cheers, mate.
Oi, you're tuned in to Jai, that Aussie metal guy, so make sure to hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss any of his sick content. And remember, stay brutal, you legend.